And so without further ado, we get into one of the segments that I love the most. It's the interviews, and it's someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. So Classy Lady Sparkle, why don't you let us know, who do we have today?
Ashley K. Schiff is a motivational speaker and coach. She is an educator and a mathematician from New Jersey. She also does motivational speaking events on several platforms. Her goal is to encourage networking, promote the idea of healthy living, both mentally and physically, as well as lend valuable strategies to help people enter into the next level of their journeying greatness. Ashley says she's a total nerd when it comes to numbers, and she's obsessed with encouraging others to step outside of their comfort zones to reach their highest potential. So let's give a warm welcome for Ashley K. Schiff.
Hey,
everybody.
How are you?
How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Awesome. I'm excited about that. I was messing around with this new mic, and I'm like, I hope they can hear me. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
so how y'all doing? It's post Thanksgiving out here. So how y'all doing?
Well,
for me, all the leftovers are gone already. So it's back to business and more shopping to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
No doubt. Yeah. So let's jump right into it. We got the ladies here. I mean, you're you're indulging in a lot of different things, and I'm excited about that, because when you talk about entrepreneurism and you talk about women in business, let's start there. What inspires you to do all that you do before we start to peel back the layers, right? As a woman of color, as a Black woman, what inspires you to continue to do what you do?
Honestly, to be real, 100 and transparent, for me, I was always looking for a mentor for myself. So the best thing for me to do was to be an encouraging person for myself. And I realized that while I'm encouraging others and motivating others, in turn, it's actually helping me as well. I tell a lot of the people that I coach or mentor, I'll be like, listen, you coming to me and you feel like I'm helping you heal, but the reality is you're also helping me heal at the same time. So instead of looking for someone else outside of myself, I realized that I need to find that within myself. And by doing that, ironically, helping more people, the more people I help, the better I feel also inside, and it heals me as well. So it's like double fold. Like, I don't know, it's that's just how I view it. That's how I look at it. I'm like, listen, the more people that I can talk to, the more people I can help, unlock the greatness within themselves. Like, just seeing somebody shift just a little bit from, it could be the simplest thing. Like, it can be, they were scared of something, or they lacked confidence, or they, felt like they couldn't do something. And then maybe, something I tell them, or words of encouragement that I might give them, and speaking life in them is also speaking life in myself. Because just to see them make that shift in their life is really all I ask for. Like, there's no money in the world that can amount to that. That's like priceless moments, So for me, it's really just seeing other people, step outside their comfort zone, see other people take it to another level, see other people become more confident, because I used to lack confidence a lot. And a lot of people didn't, see that from the outside looking in, but inside I will always like question myself and be real hard on myself. So, having other people get outside of their comfort zone and go out here and do things that they probably wouldn't do is like, I'm their biggest, like, everybody be laughing because I would pump you up. I'm like, okay, let's go. Like, that's me. So honestly, that's the greatest joy for me. That's what keeps me going. That will keep me pumped up. Just a little, like somebody else that might seem little, but for me is a big deal to see greatness in other people and see them achieve their goals.
And that you answered part of what my next question is going to be. My grandmother used to say the most radiant people are the ones who struggled the most. So you said, as you lacked confidence. Was that as a little girl? And what happened in your life that says, I got that aha moment and I love me and value me?
That's a really, really, really deep question. No one's asked me that before, so I'm excited to actually answer that. Because I had a very rough childhood. You know, growing up, I've been through a whole lot. I was raised in North New Jersey. I dealt with a lot of abuse growing up. You know, I was even emancipated at the age of 17. So for me, self-esteem was all my life. You know, I dealt with a lot of physical, emotional, mental, spiritual abuse, like for real. And so for me, I always looked on the outside, like I was saying, to try to find somebody to kind of heal those holes within, you know. And I had some teachers, let me be honest, I had some teachers and some coaches that little do they know, this little things they said to me helped me realize like I was the person that needed to save myself type vibe. There was no one else going to come save me. I needed to save myself. Even as a teenager, I realized that I needed to get strong and I couldn't be weak-minded, because what I went through growing up, you know, I could have took a whole nother path, like for real. Like I was exposed to a whole lot, and dealing with, you know, depression and insecurities and low self-esteem and all that. You know, I see a lot of the youth, and we see it all the time, where they go look for love in the wrong places, as we like to say. And, you know, they end up getting into a whole lot of different things. I, you know, fortunately didn't do that, because, you know, like I said, I had some people around that just like spoke life into me low key. And like I said, little do they know, it wasn't nothing major that they had to say. It was just, honestly, it was simply saying, no one's coming to save you. Like for real, like no one's coming to save you. You're going to have to get your mind right. You have to save yourself type vibes. And it was a hard pill to swallow. I ain't gonna lie, because that's me being young. But as I got older and then went to college and different things like that, and then definitely once I became a mom, my first daughter was the major shift for me personally, because I was like, you know what? I have to become a better person for her, because I don't need to, you know, fix her in a sense. Like she needs to have a healed mother in a sense. Like I don't need to be broken raising her. Like I need to be healed so I can raise her, you know, and give her a good platform so she don't have a childhood like I had. Like I don't want her to have to heal from her childhood, because I had to heal from my childhood. So that was the rude awakening for me. That was the major shift, if you want to, you know, say, in my life, where, you know, everything that I went through, I was like, you know what, I don't want my kids to go through this. So I'm going to make sure that I get things in order, that I do things for myself and heal myself so that I can actually love appropriately. So that was it for me.
So what is it that we can do to basically shift the atmosphere? Because now there's like an era of young ladies who are learning some negative things and, you know, things that will lead them down a horrible path, especially if things have been done to them, like, you know, when they were younger. But like there's a culture now of, you know, social media influencers, or, you know, even unfortunately female rappers who are creating this basically like ideology for young girls that, like, you know, get the bag and you know, stripping, a lot of that in their lyrics and stuff like that, where it's like a lot of young girls, they're twerking on TikTok and all that. Like, how do we shift the atmosphere and get these young girls back to, you know, where they should be?
Okay, so that's a really good question too. Honestly, and this is going to be probably an answer that is just like so far left, but it's all perspective, right? So for me, I've learned through my journey of dealing with so many people on so many different levels. It started once I became a mathematician and became a math teacher. I realized very quickly that, I know this probably don't seem like it goes together, but it actually does go together. And I'm going to give you a good example of why this all ties in. I realized real quickly that everybody's at different levels of their life, their journey, and also understanding. You know, when I was a math teacher, I had this one saying I would tell all my students, that there was no such thing as right and wrong. I did not like them using, you got the wrong answer and I got the right answer. I never allowed them to do that. We actually had this little thing in class where if anybody used the word wrong, we would have to do 10 push-ups. And it was like this little cheering thing going like, oh, you said the lyric wrong. Get up and give us 10 push-ups. So it was like kind of like a little fun thing. I would always say incorrect or correct. And the reason why I gave this example, I said, okay, well, if you have a first grader, you might tell them they need help with an equation and they're trying to find an answer. They create an equation for the number one. And you have maybe like a sixth grader or eighth grader, that's their sibling. And they're like, oh, well, you could just say, -5 plus 6 equals 1. That first grader is going to say, that's wrong. Like, what are you talking about? -5 plus 6 equals 1. That's not right. Like that. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, and they're going to go to probably mom or dad and be like, they're going to give me the wrong answers. Like -5, I don't know what that is. But see, the 6th or 8th grader understand negative numbers because of their level of understanding. They have, it's not that they're wrong. To the first grader, they're wrong because they don't even know what a negative number is. They haven't been exposed to it. They have no idea what it is. In their eyes, you know, that person should have said something like 1 plus 0 equals 1. You know what I'm saying? Help them create an equation. But the more advanced person, so to speak, was able to come up with a different type of equation, but in that first grader's eyes is wrong, but it's not wrong. So if they would have put that on a problem for their first grade teacher, the first grade teacher probably would have said it was incorrect as well because they're not on that level yet. But the reality is, again, like I'm saying, it's not wrong. It's just that they're on 2 different levels. They're 2 different perspectives, and both still equal out the same. It's just that first grade understands. So to say that even with people today, I've learned that through our journey of life, everybody has to go through different things. It helps them on their journey. That's just the best way to put it. So I don't really judge people on their level of understanding because they probably haven't gotten in yet, and they might need to go through something, and that might be their karmic life. That might be something that their karma, what they have to go through in order to grow and become a better person. I'm not here to judge it or say that they're living the wrong path or they're living the right path. It's just that they have to wake up and realize, like, what is that lesson that they need to learn, or have they even gotten to that a level of awareness to be able to go to the next level, right? So when you're talking to people, you kind of tell based off their conversation if they're ready or not, right? And as a mom, like I was just saying earlier, when we heal ourselves, that's why I feel like it will start, honestly, when we ask, what will we do? I feel like it really starts internally. It doesn't start externally because, again, that can be in their head. They're like, okay, I'm, making my money how I make my money type vibes, right? And that's their level of perspective. But then as they grow up and get wiser, if they choose to, they'll start realizing like, oh, I don't have to make my money that way. I can make my money this way, or I can do that, or I can shift and kind of do something else differently type vibes. So I might have been like a stripper, but then maybe now I could just become just a model, saying I make my money more better without selling myself, without here selling my soul and tying it with all these other people. I have sex with all these people. So again, it comes from, I don't even really think just mentorship, because we have a lot of women's empowerment out here, social media. We have enough of that. I'm not trying to be funny, but we have enough women's empowerment. We got enough on YouTube. We got enough on Google. That also is proving the point that it's not external. It's literally internal, but it also comes from the connections of who you around. And as mothers, the best thing we can do for the upcoming generation, like my daughters don't have TikTok. My daughters don't have social media. They have a cell phone, but it's connected to my cell phone. So I can literally see everything they're doing, how long they've been on something. Like I know everything, and they know it. Their computer is the same way. They know that I know everything they're doing. I can see what they're searching, how long they searched it, how long they stayed on it, who they texting, how long they've been in Messenger, how long they was on YouTube, all of it, right? And they kind of get annoyed. I ain't gonna lie, like my 11-year-old, she'd be like, well, mommy, I know you can see. And then they have tried to download stuff. Like they have tried to download TikTok. They have tried to download Facebook and Messenger, and I block it. Like simple. Like as soon as they try to download it, I block it instantly. So it's because I'm the mother. It's just what it is. Like I'm the mother, and I'm telling you, you're not getting exposed to that. Like we have to take control while they're young. Then as they get older and become teenagers in college, like again, I'm saying that that's their karma, their life. We have to also, again, understand that everybody has their life journey. Some people have to go through things, and we can't play God in everybody's life and say, you're living right and you're living wrong and try to tell people what to do. All we can do is be good examples. We can be, give good advice. And like I said, like kind of what I do is I speak life into them, and I give them my personal, journey and what I did in hopes that it might trigger something in them to be like, you know what, you're right, or you know what, that makes sense to me, but it's all about the healing and communication and just being that good example.
Wow. I'm trying to follow you because you said a lot. I mean, you are just literally hitting every nail on the head. Boom, boom, boom. And it's interesting, and it's also ironic because you have people that will they will debate that, kids are different these days. They're growing up in kind of like the social media, you know, this is where we at these days. This is where we are. So what do you tell, you know, people who are pretty much saying that, you know, kids need, you know, they're open as kids need their ability to be to exercise their you know, their criticalness, their curiosity to explore on, say, for example, these social medias like a TikTok, like a Instagram, or wherever they are, because this is what the kids are doing today. How do you have this conversation based around what kids should and should not do? And you said something different, because you don't talk in the, I guess, the, you know, you're wrong or you're right per se, but how do you give, or how do you encourage, you know, people who are trying to weed through the things to teach the youth or to teach the kids in this kind of digital environment?
So I have a real raw conversations with my daughters. They're 9 and 11. They just turned on 11. And my kids are aware of pedophilia. My kids are very aware of the criminals in the world and the internet and all of that stuff, because I don't hide it from them. I just straight up like, yo, people ain't all what people say they are. And when you think of the internet age, you know, there is bullying on a whole other level, and there's exposure, and you don't have privacy and blah, 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 right? So they could kind of see it even from me being their mom. Like before my Facebook got shut down, I had a nice amount of following on Facebook. Like I literally built my whole empire of social, like just off of Facebook. I'm just now kind of getting back into like Instagram and all the other stuff, but I genuinely just was using just Facebook, but it got shut down 2 weeks ago. So I'm starting all over pretty much. But me being their mom, they can see like firsthand, like they would see like, you know, there's no privacy, so to speak. Like people want to be in your business all the time, and they want to know everything about you. So it's kind of like I've already groomed them to understand, like, do you want to be able just to live a normal life, or do you want to be outside and then somebody just come up to you like, hey, can I take a picture? It's like all that extra stuff. Like, no, you want to be able to live your life, go out shopping. You want to be able to just enjoy yourself without having everybody all down your throat all the time. And then also, like I said, as far as letting them know about the pedophilia and all that stuff, like I straight up tell them, like, there are perverts out here, and you gotta be careful with your camera. You gotta be careful of, you know, like until you get older enough to know, like turn your webcam off, and, you know, make sure your phone is the speaker not on, or just happen, like all these little things. Like I kind of let them know that, not to scare them. They're not scared of it. They just understand that this is life, and these are people. Yes, they have friends that have phones. They have friends that got TikTok. They know what TikTok is, obviously, and they do, as all children do. They try to push the limits. But because I'm so vocal with them and express this stuff with them, it's not. How can I say it? Like right now, they're family. They'll literally text me and be like, "Well, Mom, you said this and this happened, so you were right." Like I tell them something, and if they want to be hard-headed, even at a young age, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then they're gonna come back and be like, well, dang, you said that and this happened, or you said this and this happened, or, you know, kids are smart enough to be able to communicate. And I think a lot of parents don't allow their children to communicate. And I don't tell them why they can't just why. Not, I don't have TikTok. I'm explaining to them that it's dangerous, and until things might get a little bit better, until I feel like it's a little bit more secure than me, or if they get a little older and they're able to judge a little better, then, you know, and they understand that, because it's telling them, no, don't do it because it's horrible. It is a reason. I'm not just saying no. There's a reason. That's just how I choose to address other people that probably be doing the same thing, because like you said, this generation is special. Like my 9-year-old, when she was like 5 and 6, knew how to use everything, all the devices and everything. So I was like, you way more advanced than me. I would ask her questions on how to use my phone. I'm like, she didn't even have that. But they are very advanced. So that's why us as adults, we have to protect them. At the end of the day, we need to be able to protect them, not really tell them that they can't be creative, not, you know, if they want to do a YouTube channel, parents, just control it. Like you say, okay, you want a YouTube channel, but I'm going to record it. I'm going to edit it. You know, I'm going to monitor it, but I get it for you. We just got to be more present. I guess that's the way I put it. Like, we just can't let them have it as like they're not adults. They're smart, but they're not adults. So.
Yeah, fantastic. Wow.
I truly understand that. Yeah. I got 4 kids. They're grown now, but my kids knew I'm going through your things. I'm going to go through your room. I'm going to go through things. So I think like even it goes even to like the movies. You have a PG-13 for a reason. You have a G movie for a reason. Everything is the maturity level of the brain that says this is not supposed to be in your world right now. And parents don't do a good job. Like back in the day, they say this we talking grown folks business. Go in the room. Yeah, but here you got a little 5-year-old sitting there listening to a whole conversation that can tell you the entire thing. Oh, so-and-so told Mr. So-and-so. No, you are a child and you don't need to be in an adult space in an environment. So I definitely understand and get that. But shifting it a little bit more, Ashley K-Shift, I read in your bio in regards to not so much religion, but energy. And you talked about like crystals and different things that not just, you know, for the soul, but for the mind and body on how to get a positive energy. Can you tell us more about the things that I'm looking at your background too? It looks so serene on different things that you do that help with that.
Yeah, so I have crystals everywhere. I got crystals all like right here while I'm talking to y'all. I got a huge one right here.
Oh, I like that. Oh, good.
So right here on my desk, this, you know, celestite. This is an angelic crystal. It's good for like your crown chakra, your third eye, wisdom, opening. So I'm really big on like the chakras. I got into it honestly during like college because when I studied mathematical science, it still had to do with sciences. And I started looking into numerology because clearly everything is numbers and started to kind of like connect all of it together. But it was also interesting because I was prior to that, I used to work at a church. So I was, you know, I read the Bible front and back literally 2 times, like fully through already and studied it and everything. So even in there, I used to always like, I still try to connect a lot of numerology, even in the Bible. I was like, well, this is clearly saying this, but you know, people just perspective. Again, it's perspective. People see it how they see it. I don't judge it. It's just their level of understanding. Like I might understand it differently. So that's what kind of got me really involved was when I was in college, dealing with numbers. And then from there, just understanding energy and us being spiritual beings on this plane, having a human experience. It's not the other way around. We're not human having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So for me, I was like, well, we all talk, you know, now all over social media, everybody's into what? Meditation. Everybody's into manifestation. Everybody's into affirmations all of a sudden. But I've been into this stuff for years and understanding like, that's literally how I became successful. And then there's no cap. It's been just meditating and manifesting, like for real, like making my intent very like what I say, I have to say what I mean and mean what I say. I'm real big on words. I'm real big on understanding that words, the reason why they're called their spelling is because they're spells. So we have to be very careful on what we say and how we say it and mean what we're saying. Because, you know, life and death is in the power of tongue. That's scripture. Like this stuff is real life. Like it sounds good. And people will say this stuff, but not realizing like the true meaning behind it. And I've come to realize, and I'm not going to say a master at it because I'm always still growing myself. I'm always still learning. I'm always still evolving. So I wouldn't call myself like a guru or I have mastered the ability of energy. I would say that I am good at it. I have a very good understanding of it. So I do have a crystal store out here in Las Vegas, not too far from the Strip. And so I sell crystals. I do meditations. I do readings, you know, like birth readings, human design readings, you know, kind of help people tap in and learn for themselves so they can read themselves. Because once we know how to read ourselves, you don't really have to go around reading everybody else. But once you understand your energy, you're unstoppable. Like for real. Like that's the secret. Like if anybody want to know the secret is mastering yourself, like understanding your energy. Pay attention when your energy shifts around certain situations, certain words, certain people, certain environments. Like you need to know the different times of the month when your energy is different. Like you should know yourself more than anybody. It's really not about learning how to read other people. That's irrelevant. Like you would know that based off of knowing yourself. If you walk into a room and you feel the energy shift, clearly, ding, 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 you done read everybody in the room. Like it's just, so it's once we master ourselves, we master our mind and controlling our mind. And yes, we have our days and our moments where we think negative and we get upset, like all of us do. I still curse and everything else. I'm not like no perfect saint because it is what it is, you know, but I also understand the power and all of that as well and know how to shift that energy really quickly through, you know, crystals and understanding my body. Like a lot of people are scared of learning about the chakras because they think it's some weird magic, and it's really not. Like, it's your body. This is science. This is stuff that you can prove. So once we learn ourselves and our body, we know we have these chakra points. We have these pressure points within our body, but they all mean something. And then when you understand the meaning of them, you understand how to unlock them. You understand, like, when you have a blockage, you can understand, like, when you're feeling a certain way, which chakra might need help, clearing. Like, you would know these things when you know yourself. So I have literally studied after doing math. I've literally just focused the past couple of years on just studying. It's been a while. I don't even know. Jeez, I got to think of how many years it's been. It's been good, like 7, 8 years now. It's been a long time. Time is flying of me just studying, metaphysics, energy, how crystals cannot just be pretty, but how they actually help us in our body energetically, how we can get healed through these different things. And of course, herbs and stuff like that too. So.
Yeah, which is a great transition because I want to jump into like herbology, so to speak, and why do you feel, especially do you believe that is very significant or more important as it relates to people of color versus our kind of like white counterparts? Do you think we need to invest more time in understanding herbs and how, we operate as a people internally?
Yes. Yes. I'm not going to be funny, and I hope I don't offend anybody by saying this, because I do, one of my best friends is white, but I just got to keep 100. It frustrates me in this space because I see more of them and other races than us in this space, when not for nothing, this space is us. Why I say that, understanding Earth, understanding what melanin really is. Like I said, there's a lot of trends. Like, so people just get trendy and whatever and just follow a trend. But really understanding melanin and what it really is and why it's so powerful and why it absorbs the sun the way it does and why that is very important. Like, us being connected to just different herbs, different elements of nature is very vital for our well-being, for us to become who we can be, in a sense. Like, let us unlock and untap. We look at a lot of bondage, and we look at slavery, and we look at the system, and we're looking at it right now, like how corrupt the system is and how everything in the world is being crazy, without realizing that if we just unlock our own inner power and new thyself, none of this stuff will be going on. First of all, like, I'm just keeping it 100. None of this will be going on. It's nobody else's fault. I'm gonna say it again. It's not an outside thing. There's no politician. There's no person of power. There's no elite. I feel like I'm unstoppable. Like, I don't care. Like even with my whole Facebook thing right now, like I'm directly sitting over here sending emails to Mark. Like, okay, it is what it is. Like, I'm not afraid of any of y'all because y'all don't control any of this. Like, this is, if I got the power to do what I want to do, that's what I feel. But we have to know thyself, and I feel like we allow everything on the outside control us. We allow them to control our food source. Like, in Jersey, in the hood, like, we don't even have Whole Foods in Newark, New Jersey, anywhere. We don't have any type of Trader Joe's or any type of food, farmers markets or nothing like that. No herb places. We quick to get pharmaceuticals. We still got some people in the Black community scared of cannabis. I mean, why? It's a lot that we have to learn about ourselves and understanding our bodies, and understanding, like, even as deep as our CBD receptors in our body. As melanated people, CBD activates so much faster in our body than any other race because of the melanin. See, melanin also has a little bit of gold in our bodies as well. So even eating and consuming or putting on our skin, like the 24 karat gold mask that you're seeing trending and stuff like that, all these other races been using this stuff forever. Not even just the white people, but we want to take it to the Asian population. Like, they've been using, meditation, and they just cloaked it under the whole Buddha and all that mess. And we just thought, like, oh, I don't want that religion, so we put it to a religion. But it's not a religion. It's a way of life. That's just what it is. And they did that on purpose so that we wouldn't want to do it because we don't want to sit there and rub on no big little bald fat head belly. Like, we don't care about Buddha like that. You know what I'm saying? And they know that. So they test it from us, so we won't want to do it. We like, oh, we ain't doing that. But for centuries, they have been using this stuff, and they their body isn't programmed for it like that. So they need to do a lot more than what we have to do. That's just the best way to put it, because of literally just the melanin by itself. Like, it activates everything. It amplifies everything, especially if you're doing this stuff and you're going outside in the sun. The sun is going to activate you. That's the whole point of you being melanated in the first place. Having melanin in your body is like, it's a major gift. It is a major gift.
You're making my heart pitter patter, because you're speaking to what, like, I agree with everything you say, from the endocannabinoid system, for everything that is in us. I mean, it goes back to when they said witch doctors, like African, they did dances and rituals, and they just took certain herbs from the ground and then spread it on you and pray over you. I mean, even Indians, they had to do praise dances for it to rain. So all of this, people don't understand. If you get a rabbit foot and you have energy that this rabbit foot is, sacred, that's the energy you're putting into the rabbit foot. So now, just like crystals, that's that energy. Like, you know what I mean? And I just grabbed a few of mine. I have a obsidian one, crystal. I have like just the same thing, just at the point of referring your energy from your body and putting it out in the world. And it's the same as when you pray. Grandma used to say, I'm going to pray over this house. I'm going to anoint you. And then God is good. She laid hands on you. Your grandpa laid hands on you. That is the energy that we have from our bodies that we can exude to the outside world, because we're atoms and we're energy. So just to confirm what you're saying, Ashley, I definitely hear you, sister, and I totally agree.
Actually, I think, because before I transition, and you must really have our attention, because I usually close the interviews at about a half-hour mark. We a little over, spitting these bars, and we appreciate you for doing that. But before I transition into CBD, because that's one of the, I guess, trending conversations that a lot of people have been on. I want to talk a little bit about your take on understanding your body, understanding your chakras, understanding herbs. What's your take in that context, with that lens on, right, as it relates to COVID? And how are you addressing and fighting, feeling the need to stay safe within this spectrum of COVID-19?
Okay, so I was waiting for you to bring up about COVID now. Okay, I got a whole other perspective. As always, I'm like a rebel. So y'all gonna learn this real quick. Like, I'm so anti a whole lot of stuff. So first things first, I'm going to say again, if we knew thyself, we wouldn't even be in this situation. Even the conversation about vaccination sounds crazy to me. Facebook, part of why they shut me down is because I did talk about in comments, not even on a post, but people know I have an herbal store and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, asking me questions, and they're like, like you saying, asking about CBD or what herbs I'm taking, because people were watching and seeing how during the entire pandemic is what I call it. They saw me still traveling, and they saw me still being kind of low key anti-mask or this or whatever. Right. And, they saw my posts talking about vaccinations, how like my daughters don't get vaccinated, never did. And they've been in public school their whole life. They're 9 and 11. I don't get vaccinated, never got the flu shot. They never got any vaccinations like ever in their life. So, and they're perfectly fine. They barely ever get sick. And when they do, I can literally conjure up some type of oil, like not joking, and give them a crystal bath, like so serious, sage their body, pray over them. And within 2 days, they're fine. Like, this is, everybody in my family has watched this and witnessed this firsthand. So that's, like, when COVID happened, and I pretty much predicted that this was going to get to this point, I just was kind of disappointed, because I was just like, I thought we were more at a place as people to see that this was bullcrap. At what point are we going to start asking, why are you talking about vaccine? Why aren't you talking about the immune system? It's common sense. Why aren't they creating some type of natural pill that's an herbal supplement like we all do? I mean, I sell herbal supplements in my store. I'm pretty sure the government has enough funding to be able to do mass production of an herbal supplement that they can give to everybody to boost their immune system versus talking about a vaccination. Like, it's common sense at this point. And I'm just like, wow, like perspective again, and level of awareness to also show the fear, the ability. See, people have to understand energy with fear. Fear is very powerful. It's one of the most powerful most powerful energy sources that anybody that wants to control you can use, just like love. It's the opposite of love. Fear is literally the opposite of love. So love is very powerful. Love conquers all. Love is the most powerful emotion on a positive spectrum there possibly is if you do any study of energy. The opposite of that is not mad, it's not anger, it is fear. The opposite of love is fear. So they use the complete opposite of positivity, which is negativity, to control people and their mindsets. And now understanding that all you really need to do is tap into inner self. If you feel some type of way, find the herbs or supplements to kind of help you. Everybody's body is different. That's another thing, but to a certain extent, not too much different, but to a certain extent. So if you knew yourself, you would know, like, if I'm sluggish, I need a certain type of, I need to take something for that. Or if I'm a little too tired, or if I can't sleep, or if I'm constipated, or if I have diarrhea, like, I need to know all of these different things in my body to know how to heal myself. This is something internally that you should know, not that a doctor should tell you or anything. And I'm gonna just be honest. I have been taking CBD this whole time. My daughter's been taking CBD. They're fine. I've been giving it to my grandma, my family members. Everybody's fine. I have gotten tested because I've traveled a whole lot during this time. Don't have it. Haven't had it. And I also have an herbal blend from, kind of interesting. She talks about the Native American tribes because I am a Native American medicine woman. And, a lot of people look at that as maybe, oh, she's a witch because they think of medicine woman. But no, I understand herbs and I understand the power of them. And I have an herbal blend that I do have and I sell at my store, but I can't promote it because it is it's anti everything. Like, it can literally help. And, you can't say certain words because they come after you, but you read it between the lines. You get what I'm trying to say. So we take that and we have no problem. It's like, okay, like, I'm around people, and if I am, I take that and I feel fine. I take it before I go out the house, and I take it when I come back home. And then I do, days in between before I'm seeing people. I might stay home for like 3 days, of course, sanitizing. And that, to me, is basic stuff. Hygiene is basic. And I don't know, like, with the COVID thing, I'm just like, a lot of stuff kind of basic information I feel we should know. But hopefully, this is what I will say, hopefully this is a wake-up call. Hopefully this wakes us up as a people to understand, like, we're allowing them to control us at the end of the day. And we need to get in control of our health. We need to get in control of our finances. We need to get in control of our mind so they can't fearmonger us and put us against each other and all this other stuff. Like, we should, hopefully, I'm praying that 2021 and going forward, it will be amazing years for us because I do see the awakening happening. A lot of people are waking up.
So this question is kind of a little bit off topic, but I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What happened?
We hear you, Sizzle. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I saw C doing something, so I didn't know what happened. But this is a little bit off topic. But why do you think they fight so hard? They fight so hard to kind of keep Dr. Sebi and his work and everything, kind of hush and keep it from getting out.
The exact reason I was just saying, fear. They understand if we would be, this is not to be cocky by no means. It's saying like Black people is the most superior people, but reality is this: melanated people and beings, we are more powerful than we even know. Everybody else, the they that we're talking about, know that. That's why all of this is happening. Okay, I just tell you how I'm a rebel. I'm considered a rebel. Like, I be in the airport on the plane telling them I'm not wearing my mask and show them a card and they don't bother me. Like, okay, well, go ahead and say you're not gonna let me fly and watch what happens. I'll be owning this whole airline. Thank you very much and please and thank you. Go have a nice day. Type vibe. Mm-hmm. I'm like that, okay? So if you got me, I'm just one person. You have a millions of us. How can they control us? Like, how it got? Think about that. Like, well, how would they be able to tell us what to do and how to think and where to live, how to live, where to work, what to eat, our neighborhoods? Like, think about that. They cannot control you or us, period, when we tap into that. And see, Dr. Sebi understood that. Dr. Sebi was on some major things, and he knew that his time was limited. He knew that. He kind of gave us so many hints over the years. That's why for a long was very hard to find him. You notice as soon as around like when left eye situation happened, she was going to spark a lot of controversy because she was cooking it up because, you know, she knew. And her leaving and, you know, getting killed so drastically and so fast was also a wake-up call for those that know. Like those of us that read energy knew what time it was. We're like, oh, we know what time it is. They're trying to hush it up. You know, so I am grateful that to a certain extent, Dr. Sebi is out there. If you think about it, his legacy lives on. He's actually more powerful now than he was when he was alive. So I am grateful that certain things happen. You know, I am sad that he isn't here in the physical, but he's still here, if that makes sense. His energy is literally still here. It's flowing through all of us who are awakened and all of us who are trying to heal people. Like for real, like all of us have a piece of his knowledge, his wisdom, his energy, and we're just sharing it in our own way. But that the main reason to answer your question as to why they are like pressing so against it is to keep us controlled. I'm not for the vaccine. Like I really, in my heart of hearts, could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, that the vaccine is going to have a detrimental effect on melanated people. And I hope I'm wrong, but I don't feel like I'm wrong. And I called it before COVID even happened. Like I said this, I did a Zoom like podcast in March, right before the shutdown even came about, and predicted all of this. I was like, this is what's going to happen. Everybody's like, oh no, it's going to be 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, okay. 2020 is canceled. Then I was like, 2020 is canceled. It's going to be worse in the fall. I was like, they're going to talk about a vaccine. I said all of this. So, I mean, I can't tell nobody what to do. Kind of what we were saying earlier. I can't tell people what to do. I could just tell people to research and go off their heart and in their energy and just do what you can for you and your family. But yeah, it's all about control. That's why they know that we will be unstoppable. Do you hear me? Oh, they wouldn't be a day. Let's start there. It probably wouldn't even be a day. It wouldn't even be a day if we all didn't have no mucus in our body and our third eye was wide open. Oh, it wouldn't be a day. They were like, who a day? Who is that? We'd be having our own cities. We'd have our own banks, and it would be marvelous.
Yes.
So when we talk about because you brought up mucus, if you was to tell everybody who's watching today something that they could do to fight the mucus in their system, what would that one thing be?
Detox. Believe it or not, detox. Sea moss is really powerful. Sea moss is very, 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 very powerful, actually. But detoxing your body and being the reason why is because you want to first detox. After you detox, you flush yourself out. Then you do not go back to your old ways of things. So you don't go back and eat things that have a lot of mucus in it, like clearly like dairy, certain, meats, period. But you want to be, after you do a good cleansing and detox, you want to kind of try to get your body in a space where it's not full of acid, it's not full of mucus. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't have some of this stuff sometimes. It doesn't mean you have to be completely vegan and all of this stuff. There is something that I have a resource that I can, give to whoever needs it, where there are diets that go based off of your blood type. Because believe it or not, everybody shouldn't be alkaline, like as far as like what kind of what we're saying, or vegan, because their blood type is, they need certain, proteins or certain things. But there's balance. It's considered balance and not being overindulgent in these things. So making sure that you consistently detox, not just once, like every year, but this should be a consistent thing for you. I know some people do it, what they call fasting, sometimes like once a week or once a month is fine. It's completely up to you. But definitely cleansing out your body as much as you can and kind of do a resets, because then your body doesn't get used to it and the mucus doesn't get used to being in your body, if that makes sense. So even if you do like cheese, like myself, or, one of those who love a whole bunch of meat or whatever, your body doesn't get so used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're constantly resetting it. So the mucus doesn't have time to settle. It doesn't have time to sit. It doesn't have time to do nothing. It's like, it actually becomes like a foreign thing in your body. Your body will start flushing it out a lot faster and easier when you go to the bathroom and stuff anyway, by default. So I always suggest that, detoxing, number one, making it a lifestyle thing. And then from detoxing on a regular basis, making sure that you're more conscious and aware of how much you eat of those things that have a lot of mucus in it. Like I was just, saying. So the foods that have a lot of mucus, try to limit that as much as possible. I wouldn't say get rid of it completely if you don't want to be vegan, but definitely limit it.
I feel like this is like a topic for the new year too. Also, like you might need to come back and talk about that.
I can have it. I can have a whole little thing like, and we can give it to your viewers or whatever. I can give it away for free. I just call it the blood type diet. Like it's nothing extravagant, but we could definitely talk about it. And if I had it in front of me, I'd kind of tell you the different blood types and what is needed, but I don't know it off the top of my head. But I have a document that I did for it, so I can give that.
Awesome.
Yeah, we definitely would love
so amazing. He looks like he just keep trying to find something else to ask me.
No, you know what? I think what it is the way that I ask or the way that I interview is based upon the answers, right? And if you as a person have a dynamic insight on something, then that's where I'm gonna go down that road, right? But then we have stuff that's within your bio that we need to address, right? Hence, probably the last question. And we took you to almost an hour. And I appreciate you hanging on.
I enjoyed it though.
No doubt, we really appreciate that because we do our interviews like you're part of the family. So it's no kind of hard questions that you're like, oh my God, let's put the cross up type of thing. We don't do that, right? But we do like to pull you in and let our listeners and our viewers try to understand who you are outside of you just being a talking head. Because you are a speaker. You have so many different hats that you wear. And one of the biggest things that, the world has been talking about, even as it relates to legislation, has been marijuana and CBD. And I understand that you dove into that and you're creating business based around that. So I would like you to, just kind of expound on what you're doing within that construct and where do you see the future for people of color, more specifically Black people, as it relates to CBD?
That's a good question. So, I'm actually in the network marketing industry in relations to CBD. I've been selling it for about 3.5 years before CBD became popular. So in 2017, I was selling CBD and posting about it and getting flagged and all kinds of stuff because it was technically still illegal. And it wasn't popular as it is now. And everybody thought I was crazy, but I was adamant even in 2017. I had made some connections with some people internationally, in particular in Nigeria. And I told them that I was bringing CBD to Nigeria. And so I have done so. And I'm grateful because last summer, I was able to be in Nigeria for a whole month over the summer and was able to launch CBD in Nigeria on the ground, having products, helping people over there. And it expanded from there to Ghana, to South Africa, and all over Africa. Like we're like all over Africa now. So it's a blessing, because the testimonies, like I said at the beginning of the interview. So this is kind of full circle. The testimonies that I get from them is worth more than anything to me because they need us. Like I used to believe, and this is just me personally, and maybe somebody else listening to this can relate. I used to feel like some type of way about Africans and felt like they should be helping us more and they should be fighting for us because of our inequalities here in America. But then after networking with them and building a relationship, and now they're like really like family where I can go over there for a whole month by myself and I have no fear. Think about that. In Africa, for crying out loud, where there's no service, you can't call me, there's nothing. And I was so comfortable. And these were people that I just knew off the internet. These are not people I knew, like, period, outside of that. But that was the type of, relationships we built over the 2 years from 2017 to 2019. We built like a culture and a family. They've also have flown out here to my store. They've been to Las Vegas. I've had over a dozen, almost probably about 2 dozen now, Nigerians from Nigeria, literally come to Vegas inside of my store, celebrate in my store, all because of the connection of CBD. So, just giving them that hope and understanding that they need us they need us. Like we need ourselves here in America, but they need us. They really, really do. And I feel like we have the endless opportunities as melanated people, even in America. I want to get more into farming. That is something on my agenda for 2021 and beyond, to get more into actually growing it more, connecting with more of us who are already growing it, and understanding that it's bigger than just what, smoking it, or bigger than just the oils. It is cannabis and hemp in particular is just a huge market, huge industry. I don't know if y'all know, but we can literally make steel with hemp. We can literally create a plane. There's a plane created with hemp. They can use the oil for the plane with hemp. Back in the 70s, Ford created a car out of hemp. That same car that they built it out of hemp, they also used the gas for the car was hemp. The first American flag was hemp. Our clothes can be hemp. You can make wood out of hemp. You can make a whole house out of hemp. Like, you can make so much stuff using hemp. Is ridiculous. So I feel that we need to educate ourselves more. A lot of us don't know that, of course, because, this is what it is. But being in the industry for so long, of course, I've been in seminars and meetings and amongst the other people who are not us, not our color, and just been in the rooms with them and seeing what they're doing. And me being me, I'm like, oh, y'all doing that? Oh, I'm about to help our people do the same thing. What you talk about? So that is definitely a major goal of mine. I use network marketing as a powerful tool because a lot of people of us don't even understand it, but there's multi-millionaires created from network marketing. It's literally almost like crowdfunding. It's literally us working together. And if we would get out of our own heads and understand the power of network marketing to build wealth, is literally the fastest way to build wealth there possibly is on the planet. Because it's a domino effect. You get money off of who bought that person, and that person is a domino effect. It's like everybody eats. Nobody's selfishly eating. Everybody can eat. So I want to definitely up my ante on educating for network marketing for our people too, so that we understand it. So I'm big on that, and Forex as well. So between cannabis and Forex for 2021, I'm ready to turn up, because those two industries, oh man, if we tap into those two industries, I'm telling you right now, we'll be unstoppable.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you are already unstoppable. You right now, sister, you got the wheels under you, and I continue to wish and pray for success for you. And one thing that we always say on the show is, once you come to the show, you're a friend. So you can come on anytime. So we'll be calling you back to talk more, to give us some tips and tricks and all that good old stuff to keep us Black folk healthy. But before I let you go, you got to tell everybody how they can get in contact to you. How can they, find your website, all that good old stuff, so they can get some of your products and good old things,
Oh, well, thank you. I first want to, before I even do all of that, I want to first thank you all for having me. I love the energy. Like, you're right. This does feel like family. And then when things open up a little more, I'm hoping we can all connect or something in person. I'll just fly out there to Philly, or y'all come out to Vegas or something. I don't know. But yeah, just let me know whenever y'all come out here. Y'all, like you said, if you're like family, just let me know if you ever come out here on vacation, need a tour or something. I got you. But
we come to Vegas.
Yes, let's go to Vegas. Come on to Vegas. I'll show y'all a good time. But yeah, so how you can find me. All right. So my website is ashleykshifts.com. My store is Hack by Nature, like Hack, HACKED by nature.com. All the products and things are there. Social media is the same for all. Hack by Nature is on all social media platforms. Ashley K Shift as well. But I'm really, like I said, building Instagram right now. So you can definitely follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter. And you can also like my fan page, which is Ashley K on Facebook as well. And yeah, I'm excited. Connect with me, tag me. If you have any questions, I'm an open book. You can feel free to DM me at any time, or email me. You can email me at ashleykshift@gmail.com, or you can email me at hackbynature@gmail.com.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we're going to be waiting for those little emails you're supposed to send us about eating for our blood, and just all of the crystal magic and all of that good stuff to keep us moving, because I think.
And I can give y'all my book too. I give you my book, the Get What You Really Want. So I'm going to give y'all my book as well.
All right. Long as it's not a digital copy, because I want you to autograph it. So you gonna have to.
It is a digital copy. It's a digital copy. Okay. So I will just look. He already. Okay. So I'll print one just for y'all, and I'll sign it.
And you gotta sign it. We want your handwriting.
Okay.
It's energy in that. You know that, right? It's energy in
that. Send us that energy.
I love y'all so much. Thank you.
We love you.
Well, thanks for coming to the show. And like I said, you're more than welcome to come back at any time. And you just stay. Just keep doing you, Black Girl Magic. That's pretty right. Much.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Lauren Sizzle and Classy Lady Sparkle. And have you subscribed to our channel yet?
If the answer is no, you need to subscribe now.
Yeah, so stop what you're doing. Go right now and subscribe. We like you. You like us. So go ahead and subscribe.
Come on over. Be a part of the family of We Talk Weekly and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
So what are you waiting for? Subscribe
now.